My name is Celestial Dark, and I'll be your guide for this evening. Here recently, uh, I went to my local OTS, and I got an invite to Nationals, and that's pretty cool. I went undefeated in Swiss, and I didn't lose until the finals. I really wanted that Topologic Bomber Dragon, Matt. but, um, but yeah, I went to my OTS, went undefeated in Swiss. I thought I had a pretty good showing with the deck that I'm playing. I'm playing a link-based ABC, and I think for this deck profile, I'm going to go over the side deck, then the extra deck, and then the main deck, because the main deck will make more sense if you see the side deck and the extra deck first. So, we'll start with the side deck. So, triple Denko Sekka. Denko Sekka is a really strong card, any back row heavy deck, True Dracos, Paleozoics, just a fantastic card. Sometimes the card just straight up wins games by itself. Really like Denko Sekka. Definitely will keep it at 3. Moving forward, because I do see Paleo still sticking around even after Circuit Break. Triple Artifact Lancia. Now Lancia hurts a lot of different decks. The one that really caught my attention, and the reason why I wanted to run Lancia in the first place, was for both 1 frogs and 2 spirals and 3 ABCs, and like there's a lot of different utilities for this card. And that's why I play 3 of them, because it is just that it's that versatile. It's that versatility that makes Lancia that good. Max C. 2 mistakes. Mistake is kind of cool in this deck because Hanger attaches from your deck to your monsters. You don't need to search from your deck to your hand, really. You can use the recursion of A and Union Hanger just to get all of your pieces together. But Mistake, it's a really strong card against a lot of different decks, so Mistake is certainly worth playing. Anti-Spell Fragrance for the Pendulum Magician matchup. I think I'm going to cut the anti-spells for board wipes, Regeki and Dark Hole. I just feel like I'd appreciate having the board wipes moving forward into the game. That being said, three Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries, and my target, totally awesome. Now, when you see my extra deck, this will make more sense. Frogs are basically like the only deck where I feel like I have trouble just to like deal with like Toad, like multiple Toads and Mistar Boys and stuff like that. So we sided in the Totally Awesome, so that way in case we did face Frogs, which we actually didn't face Frogs, we could side in the Ghost Reapers and the Totally Awesome. But the Ghost Reapers were still good nonetheless. You know, being able to hit basically whatever Link monster you want, because, I mean, this deck plays a lot of the popular Link monsters at the moment, so Ghost Reaper to hit Link monsters, Ghost Reaper in the mirror match, whatever. Ghost Reaper is a fantastic card, and I will continue to play 3 of it moving forward. So that's it for the side deck. 15 cards. Pretty nice side deck. Then we'll go to the extra deck. We got our tokens. You got 2 tokens. You know what's coming. You know what's coming in the main deck. Oh my goodness, you know what's coming in the main deck. So first of all, Gem Knight Seraphine. Seraphine is one of those cards where when you open with Brilliant Fusion and Union Hanger, that's a guaranteed. That is a guaranteed Dragon Buster, Deco Talker, plus basically being able to attach whatever you want to your Dragon Buster, or leaving a second link to Deco Talker so that it has 3300 attack, and also gives you the potential to tribute that extra piece to like protect yourself from anything that targets by Deco Talkers. Next, we have triple Dragon Busters. Dragon Buster is the heart and soul of the deck. It is what generates everything. One of the things I like about this deck is that this deck doesn't care. This deck will uncontact Dragon Buster in the standby phase without giving it a second thought. Really, we don't want to lose Dragon Buster to Kaijus. We try not to activate its effective banish too much. We're just worried about the advantage that the card gives us in the long run. By being able to banish all of our cards from the graveyard and then just be able to put them right all on the field. That's where the true power of this deck is. And if we know our opponent doesn't have Ghost Ogre, screw it. We'll activate Dragon Buster's effect multiple times in a turn. Next we have the secret tech of the deck. Vermilion Dragon Mech. Vermilion Dragon is... It's just a nicety. It's the only card in my extra deck that I would consider entirely just a nicety to have. It deals with problem cards, and it's just a nice card to put on the board every now and then. If your opponent's got that mysterious back row and you want to get rid of it before you go into any more plays, it's just like, just drop the Vermilion Dragon, banish the Gofu, banish the Ghost Ogre, pop something, and then when this dies, you get your tuner back, and that's pretty cool. Next for our Xyz, we play Tornado Dragon and Bujinte Tsukuyomi. These are the only two Xyz in this deck. I don't find a lot of power coming from the Xyz, so we play the two best Xyz in the game for this deck, which are certainly Tornado Dragon and Tsukuyomi. Tornado Dragon lets us deal with back row really at any time that we want. The problem is that it destroys, it doesn't banish, it doesn't like stop it from triggering in the graveyard, but that's okay. Most of the back row we're trying to hit with Tornado Dragon, cards like Solemn Strike, cards like Mirror Forces and stuff like that. That's what we're trying to hit with Tornado Dragon, because those are the kinds of cards that we don't want to deal with in this deck. Next we have Tsukuyomi. Tsukuyomi, it's ABC. Of course you're going to play Tsukuyomi. And then this is where our extra deck gets interesting. This much of our extra deck, this is all blue monsters. So we're going to open with Triple Proxy Dragons. Proxy Dragon is that card. It's so generic, just requiring 2 monsters, and that's the only requirement. Proxy Dragon it's beautiful. It works wonders. And when you establish your boards of like Decode, Proxy Dragon, Dragon Buster, you end up uncontacting with Dragon Buster, and now they have trouble getting over your board entirely. And sometimes you can make your board immune to board wipes. You uncontact your Dragon Buster, and your pieces are like A, C, B, and you use Hanger to attach a B to your C so it's unaffected by spells. And then at this point, you're immune. Like, this card is now immune to Dark Hole Regeki. So when they go to use that, you contribute your C and your B that's equipped to it to protect your entire field, and that's amazing. That's actually amazing. So Proxy Dragon puts in a lot of work. It also protects other Link monsters. It protects Dragon Buster. It protects every card on your field, and that's insane. Next we have Decode Talker. I only opted to play 1 Decode Talker. I don't feel like I should play more than 1 Decode Talker. You'll see the other Link monsters in my extra deck, and you might realize why I don't like playing Decode Talker. Decode Talker's Link markers are less than desirable in this deck. Sure, it opens up 2 monster spaces, but that's certainly why we play the 1 of, because when we want to have the 2 monsters up, we want to have the 2 Link zones open, we go for the Decode Talker. But when that's not necessarily relevant, we go for the next best thing. Gaia Savior. 2 of them. This monster's Link pointers are much more desirable in this deck, because once you get it off the extra monster zone, this thing opens up 2 monster zones. It's pretty nice. It has a lot of synergy with the last card in this extra deck, which is Firewall Dragons. Play 2 of them. You don't go into them at the same time. The real benefit of Firewall Dragon is that you go into them 1 at a time, and you can use the second one to recycle the first one, and you can use the first one to be offensive or defensive. Add monsters from your own graveyard to your hand. Add your hand traps. Balance monsters your opponent controls, so that way you can swing in for more damage and potentially go for game. This deck just wants to close out the game as fast as possible, and Firewall Dragon helps. And there's also the play where if you have a monster in your hand, an A pointing to this, and an A in your graveyard, you can link summon with that A over and over again. Firewall's link 1, A's link 2, A adds the other A to your hand, Firewall Dragon special summons that A, and you can link up into double Firewall Dragons, and it's not too difficult to do. It's an okay play every now and then, but it really only matters if one of your Firewall Dragons has double links. So if you have like this in your extra monster zone, or you have like a proxy dragon chilling on the side of one of them or something like that, you really want to have as many co-links to Firewall Dragon as possible. So, but Firewall Dragon certainly comes in clutch. Really nice card. So with that being it for the extra deck, let's get into the main deck. So, obviously, ABC. So we're playing 3 A's, 3 B's, and 3 C's. Pretty standard. I like this deck because this deck wants to abuse this card as hard as possible to special summon as many monsters as you can, get your link summons going, and it just does amazing things. C is my favorite piece of ABC. Next we have triple Union Hanger, triple Terraformings. After Circuit Break we get Destrudo. We can play Dragon's Ravine, Terraforming, Set Rotation, Union Hanger. The field spells in this deck will be incredibly consistent. So I'm looking forward to playing that. I'm really hoping that Destrudo is not a secret rare. I'd be okay if it's an ultra, if it's a super, something like that. I'd like it to still be a foil. I say that and I don't have foil Terraformings or foil Union Hangers. I don't care about rarity like that, so. But I would just like it to be a foil. It's nice. 3 gold gadgets and 2 silver gadgets. Again, it's all about link materials, and there are often times where you open like gold, silver, Union Hanger, and like you just want to grab your A, silver, gold, A, attach B, use these 2 to make either Tsukuyomi or Tornado Dragon, and just pass turn. And it's a little bit of a slow start, but generally like you end up winning those kinds of games anyway. Because even though it is a slow start, that Tornado Dragon is putting in work. And that Tsukuyomi might draw you the traps that you need for advancing your game state. And that's why it depends on which one you go for. If you have like a Cyclone and a Strike or something like that, you might as well just opt to go for the Tornado Dragon because you really don't need the draws at that point. But if you do need the draws, if you draw like a brick card like a Lazuli or a Garnet or something like that, it's fine. You can make the Tsukuyomi, pitch it to draw more cards. It's fine. So, like I said, you know what was coming. Gofu. Gofu's amazing. Gofu's amazing for link summoning. The card's still legal. Shoutouts to fuck Photon Thrasher. I don't like that card. As long as Gofu exists, this is much better than Photon Thrasher any day of the week. If nothing else, you summon this, put your 2 tokens, and use the 3 of them to make a Gaia Saber. Without having to go into your proxy dragons, without having to worry about any dumb stuff, just make your Gaia Saber. Or, I mean, if you want to burn the proxy dragon, go for the Deco Talker. Gofu plus Union Hanger plus a gadget equals Dragon Buster, Deco Talker, Tsukuyomi. Pretty strong board. It's pretty nifty when it comes up. But generally, I prefer to extend my link combos as opposed to making Xyz. And that's why I only play two Xyz monsters in the whole deck. But you can play the deck how you want. This deck will function no matter what playstyle you want to use with it. And that's another thing that I like about it. Next we have triple Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. Ghost Ogre is the best hand trap in the game. Don't let anybody lie to you. This is not the best hand trap. This is the best hand trap in the game. Ghost Ogre just does so much work. So much work. Next we have 3 Brilliant Fusions, 1 Lazuli, and 1 Garnet. Lazuli is not like super important. You could play 2 Garnets, but I like the 1-in-1. It just gives me options depending on what kind of plays I want to do. Generally, I'll send the Lazuli first, so that way I'd much rather draw this card than draw Lazuli, because at least this is level 4. This lets me go into plays with my Xyz a little bit better. So, but then again, if I do end up in a situation where I can summon this off of a Firewall Dragon, this is still a link material. So these cards aren't necessarily dead cards all the time. But like, it's rare that they come up as being materials for Xyz or links. So just keep that in mind. We do play two Brilliant Fusion targets, just because I always have the tendency to open with one of them. Like, it always happens. So when I did try to just play Garnet, I opened it all the fucking time and I hated it. So we bit the bullet and we played 2. Next up, triple Cosmic Cyclone. Cosmic Cyclone is... Honestly, to me, Cosmic Cyclone is the best spell and trap removal right now, because the only decks that are playing heavy back row like that are True Dracos and Paleozoics, and in both of those decks you want to banish the spells and traps, so Cosmic Cyclone is a no-brainer. Playing 3 of it for sure. I enjoy playing 3 of it. 3 of it is where it should be. I tried 2, didn't like it. 3 is where it's at. Next up, main decking Pot of Acquisitiveness. Now, people might ask, you know, what's the deal with Acquisitiveness? Why are you main decking this card? Basically, if you do want to go ballsy and you do want to leave your Dragon Buster, it's an answer if you get Kaiju'd. It's an answer for any deck that wants to counter your strategy by banishing your monsters. And there are lots of situations where your opponent might banish cards, and it's like, ooh, you know, these cards serve you better either banished or in your graveyard, like Cyframe Lord Omega. Let me return them to your deck and plus off of the fact that I'm hurting your strategy. So, Pot of Acquisitiveness, I like the card in the main deck. It serves me well. And even if it's not useful, let's say you open with the Dragon Buster and you got this in your hand, you know. Oh, if you Kaiju me, I've got this as my retort. I can return my pieces to my deck and draw. Or, if you don't Kaiju me, I can discard this card freely to banish and then chain to uncontact. So... Pot of Acquisitiveness is not really ever a bad card. Next we have another spicy tech in the deck, Mind Control. Because we're playing this deck link heavy, it's always nice to like mind control a Decode Talker and then just make a Firewall Dragon with it. It's always pretty amazing. So yeah, it's a nicety. You can mind control all kinds of different monsters and take some serious, like, do some serious shenanigans because of Link summoning and mind control. I would say that this card is probably a staple at this point in Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, if you're playing any deck that plays any generic Link monsters, i.e. Proxy Dragon, or Decode Talker, or Gaia Saber, this card should be in your deck. It's amazing. It's just amazing. And then, last but not least, of course, we have the Solemn Brigade. I don't think there's any explanation needed. I don't pay any other life points in this deck outside of the Solemn Brigade, so it's perfectly fine by me to play the whole thing. These traps are never really bad. You'll notice that I do play the full 4. I like it. And yeah, so that was my profile on my Link ABC deck. I really like this deck. I really think this deck is going to still be strong moving forward. Even though some people are claiming that Spirals are going to be tier 0, they have to remember that in the OCG, Dragon Buster is limited to 1. And so, with Dragon Buster limited to 1, that deck's not playable. Masterpiece is banned, that deck's not playable. But in the TCG, Masterpiece is at 3. Diagrams at 3. Dragon Buster's at 3. So, really, you can play this deck moving forward, even in this format where they say that Spirals are going to clearly be the best deck. I'm not so sure. I certainly think Spirals are going to be a top contender, don't get me wrong. But I don't think Spirals are going to be the best deck. But with that being said, there's my deck profile. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace.